Okay, YouTube, we have everything right here. We have everything all set up, ready for the build. It shouldn't take too long. The hardest part is going to be right here, inserting the tail feathers. So let's get about that. Okay, they can only go in one way. Can't go in from this side because we have the control horn. So they have to go in through this side. And this is the little tricky part, because have to get it lined up perfect. And this is where we break out my tape measure. We measure from a set point, and that is, let's go right there. So that is 8.5. Let's go around to the other side. And it's a little bit more this way. Push it forward to make sure it's seated just right. Let's eyeball that. Let's do that again. Measure again. Okay, just over 8.5. Okay, that's about right. Although looking down from above, it looks a little crooked. So we're going to straighten that a little bit. That looks better. Now, they tell you to use a tape. Now, this is actually my second T28 Trojan. And when I used the tape, that led to a world of hurt. I used the tape exactly as they said. And I don't know what happened, but it gave out whilst I was actually flying. And I ended up crashing on the maiden. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually use a little glue. And let's put on the spout thingy so that we have better control. And this is actually a slow drying one, so it will take a little while for it to dry. There we go. And we're going to jiggle it around a little bit so that it kind of works its way in there. Okay, let's line that back up. And remeasure it. Crooked. Okay, that's better. A little more this way. Come on. There we go. Go. Okay, and that is already starting to dry. So what we'll do the next part is we're going to flip her over, and this is where it gets a little interesting, is that we have to feed these wires through and then put everything in place. So let's put that in there. In it goes. Now we're going to feed those through there. Okay, let's pop that out and stretch these out a little bit. There we go, that's better. Because it wasn't quite getting through there. Let's line that back up. And come on. This is always the tricky part. I'm going to take a quick brief rest for the moment. Okay. Whilst I stepped away, I had a little think to make life easy. So what we're going to do is pop the wing off for a second. We're going to tie these two together. And if I'd been smart, I would have prepared this beforehand. But I'm not particularly smart at the best of times. So we've now tied them together, and it's just a loose slip knot. We feed that through, and if I've got it right, that will just pop right through once we've got everything connected. So there we go, that's in place. It's not screwed in yet. We're going to flip it over and loosen it a little bit, which is the reason why it's not screwed in. And I'm going to flip it over a little bit so that you can actually see, using the string here, pulling it through. Okay. With the aid of the string, we're able to pull this through. And we're going to leave them loose for the moment. Before we put them in, we're going to flip it back over. And we're going to put the screw in that will hold the wing in place. So we'll park that there for the moment. And we will pause again whilst I get my screwdriver. I have the little bag of bits that was mentioned in the unpacking, or the unboxing, or the getting it out of its dungeon, or its prison, whatever you want to call it. Okay, so here we go with the little screw. It drops right down in there. And we'll get that out of the way. And literally, it's just a simple making sure that that's in properly. And that is the wing. It's not connected up or anything right now. So what we'll do is we'll get the wheels, which are sitting down here on the ground. Okay, let's put the nose wheel in. And we'll just rest those there. And this is always the fun part because it takes a little bit of adjustment. And I said the fun part, and it pops straight in there. Can you believe that? It's the way my luck goes. So, okay, there's a tiny little screw in here that you have to undo a little. And that will pop down a little further. And we do it back up, nice and tight. Making sure that it's in there nice and tight. There we go. That is not in there tight, is it? Okay. Let's back that off a little, because it looks like that may need to go down a little further. Okay, let's spin it around. There we go. Okay, that is in there nice and tight. So we'll put the wheels on, and it doesn't really matter which side they go on. There's only one way that they can fit in, and it's just a quick little bit of wriggling. Now, I'm not going to put them in all the way just yet, because let's see if it's going to pop in. Oh, there we go. I am going to put them all the way in because they pop in real easy. Okay, so that is the assembly. We're going to pause again in a moment. But before we do, we're going to connect up the ailerons. And these are the ailerons right here. And this is always entertaining because trying to get them the right way. Supposedly, it really doesn't matter which way around they go, but the way that it looks is, that is this wing. That is, yeah, that looks like it's for this side. Yeah. Okay. And this one goes this way. Now the final step will be the binding, and that's when we find out that we've either got everything connected the right way around or we don't, which is an easy fix. Okay, we're going to pause for a second here. Okay, we're going for the binding, so let's turn on my radio. This is actually a new radio. This is the NX8, and okay, we're going to connect everything up. Throttle's down low. Okay. Then it slipped out of okay. Move around here, and it says to keep your finger on here. Oops. Okay. There we go. Now, the fact that it's done it twice, that means it's in safe mode. Which you can see that there's limited movement on the ailerons here. Elevator. There's nothing because I forgot to connect that up. And the rudder. Okay, so we're going to flip her over for a moment. And she's probably going to chatter and make a racket. We're going to quickly connect up the aileron. So let's flip her back over and connect that up. course, there is going to be some adjustments that I'm going to have to do. So if my memory serves me right, goes right there. Let's put it the right way up. And there we go. We'll have to check that in a few. Okay. Now, with this one, I believe it's 5 times up and down with this switch here, which is switch A, and that will give me the between safe mode and safe mode off. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So no. Maybe. Let's try that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Okay, let's try it this way, if my memory serves me right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, I'll have to look into that. Let's try that one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One, two, three, four, 5. Oh, there we go. No, maybe not. It should twitch when it does that, when I switch it over. So let's try that again. Huh. Did it the other, well, not the other day, but about a month ago with my other aircraft. Did it without a problem. Now I'm struggling. Let's try that one more time. I think I've got it. Because there is movement going on in the elevator, the ailerons here, and as we bring it back down, they are dropping. If I do, oh yes, there's movement there, just a little. Yeah, it's there we go. See, the aileron here is moved up a little bit, and if I switch it off, there it goes back into place. On. Off. There we go. It's all set up. So here we go. We're putting on the canopy. Going to put that down. It's still connected up live right now, so we're going to get a look at how it looks. This is it fully assembled. I'm not going to mess around with the tail right now because that is drying. It's probably dry actually, but here we go. Here's the finished girl. She's all set up, ready to fly. I'm going to do some modifications to her. The wheels have always been a problem flying off of grass. I have an Aero Scout. If you've seen the video of its maiden flight, you're lucky because I actually haven't posted it yet. But the wheels on there are about twice the size of these tiny little wheels that we have on here. Taking off of grass with this one is next to impossible with these tiny little wheels. So I'm going to try and switch them out. The cowling here, I'm going to take the one from my old one, which I actually have already taken it off. I have it sitting on the floor here. I'm going to put this one on, the nose there, because let's turn it up the right way. I actually painted the engine in, so it actually looks pretty decent. It does have some damage on it from some rather hard landings, but it looks pretty good actually. You know, the red and the black looks real nice, and on the nose it looks real nice. I have a canopy from my old one that I put a little hole in the top there, and I put some Velcro. That's for FPV. I got a better FPV system that will go in here. I can actually put it from aircraft to aircraft, and it's real nice. It's got much better range, so that you'll actually get the cockpit view. I may do some other modifications. Maybe change the colour in certain areas. For example, the wingtips here, maybe put red wingtips on it. Maybe make the whole entire rudder here red. Something that will make it stand out instead of being one of many. I'm customizing it so that it meets what I want it to look like. Well, that's the assembly, and we will do one last thing. We'll pop this back off. We'll put this back down on the ground here, and we will unplug the battery, because it's not a good thing leaving the battery plugged in. Last thing we want is damage to this new aircraft, and we will be doing the maiden as soon as I have an opportunity, and hopefully you'll get the idea to like, subscribe, and thank you very much for watching. Fly well, fly safe, and if you have to crash, crash in style. That's what I say.